Hello, hello, my Buddhas and sisters, and welcome back to the Ebola 2.0 story time. I am your host, Teeth, and we will continue reading the second part of the book called The Phoenix from the Ashes, The Death and Resurgence of Uganda, written by the famous Ugandan author HandBanana. Let's begin. However, there was a glimmer of hope that would inevitably set the great nation of Uganda back towards its former glory. It lay within a small empire in southern Uganda, the great subnation of the Ebola 2.0, along with the rest of Uganda, had been suffering at the sudden purge of all knuckles. The current emperor of the small empire had been adversely affected by the recent campaign against the knuckles, and unlike the rest of the region, openly pressed squeakers into service and left them unattended. This did not sit well with one of his lieutenants, a knuckles named Babakumbe Mandingo, supreme commander of the Ebola. He didn't hate the squeakers as the rest of Uganda did. However, he believed that they needed to be taken under the wing of experienced Uganda warriors to teach them to be cancerous, yet to not be an annoying as fuck squeaker that ruined everyone's time. The emperor knew of his misgivings, and he saw it as a threat to his kingdom. In response, the emperor put a contract out on Babakumbe's life, promising a harem of 69 queens to the man who would kill Babakumbe. Babakumbe became aware of this plot by a friend of his who served in the emperor's personal guard. With his help, Babakumbe escaped the empire's capital in the south and traveled throughout Uganda, recruiting other brothers to his cause, to mend the wound Uganda as a whole was suffering. They found such notable Uganda warriors as Prince Duff, the ultimate slayer of the Covenant with the Spartan halo armor. He managed to summon not only the devil of pleasure, Akalivid, but Noxidax, the god of thunder, and his demigod son, HandBanana. Once the ranks swelled, Prince Duff met Gigthank, the greatest Ugandan queen in all the land, and they formed a political union that gave new legitimacy to the new Ebola 2.0 tribe. Once Babakumbe had amassed enough followers, he led his army back to the southern empire where the ineffectual emperor lived. Babakumbe, ahead of his armies, single-handedly slayed over 50,000 warriors under the emperor's command, including 30,000 squeakers. After the massacre on the steps of the palace, Babakumbe's army invaded the palace itself, immediately liberating all of the emperor's harems and seized control of all the armories. Once the palace was secured, Babakumbe drew a ceremonial scimitar passed down to him from the emperor himself. Babakumbe and the emperor became embroiled in a duel that lasted 40 days and 40 nights. Yet in the end, Babakumbe slayed the emperor and stuck his decapitated head on a pike outside the palace walls. Thus, the new hope for the nation of Uganda was truly born. The empire of the Ebola 2.0 now swells in ranks to conquer and reunify all of Uganda and restore it to its former glory, with a very stringent hold on the squeakers that inevitably stayed leftovers from the initial purge. However, the story does not end there and continues in the midst of a crisis in nearby Wakanda. Thank you for listening to part 2 of the book. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Oh, we seem to have a special guest tonight. It's Mr. HandBanana himself. Please clap for him. Hello, Mr. Banana. How are you doing today? Ha ha ha! That's very good. Let me ask you some quick questions before we end tonight's show. What inspired you to write this book? Oh, I see. Very interesting indeed. Will you continue writing other parts of the book in the future? Well, you hear them here, folks. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. HandBanana. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you for listening to the Ebola 2.0 story time. Good night. My poor dad didn't understand the word he said. This was the most confusing interview I've ever done in my life. Oh shit, yes.